talented? Isn't she so talented? I never praise a kid for their talent.
Right.
Now you'll hear me praise kids for their work ethic.
All right. Heath Chapman. Welcome to the podcast, dude.
What's up, man? How are you doing?
You know, we've spent an entire day together.
I know.
This has been really cool.
It's been really awesome.
I appreciate you coming down and doing this, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, dude. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's been good.
So Heath Chapman from East Coast.
East Carolina.
My bad. I say ECBJJ all the time.
Everybody says ECBJJ.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So Greenville, North Carolina, third degree black belt.
Third degree black belt under Hops and Moore.
Under Hops and Moore, right? You're gonna have to help me here, because
yeah, I've been training a while. I'm not as young as I look. I'm a lot older.
Dude. How old are you now?
I'll be 42 in March.
Getting up there, dude.
I know. Master 3, gonna be Master 4 soon.
Yeah, got pans coming up.
Yes. I'm starting my official camp for me personally in February. I got injured over the holidays, so I'm having to kind of slowly ease back into things.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I cracked a rib.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Who were you rolling with? Someone in particular? Or?
I was doing negatives, so we're starting in bad positions, and one of my black belts got me in a good arm bar, and he had a good bite on my arm, but so I'm defending it, and he reaches for my leg, and when he hugs my leg, I do a side crunch, and my ribs popped out. He felt really good about himself. Like, he was so happy he tapped me. Like,
you think he'll watch this?
Bro, my man gets up, takes his gi off, and says, "I'm done for the day." I think he might have quit jiu-jitsu. I think that was the pinnacle of his whole career so far. You know, he's like, "I'm done with jiu-jitsu, Heath. I'm sorry. I've learned all I can learn." I was like he didn't even extend the arm. It's like he did when I did the crunch, I tapped because my ribs popped. He didn't care. He's like, "It counts."
Oh, let's go. Hey, those things count.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
It's like, "It counts. I'm done." I was like, I'm sitting right there going like, "Come back. I'm going to teach you a lesson." But my body was like, "Heath, you're not teaching anybody a lesson. You need to go to the hospital."
They're the worst. Did you go get it looked at?
Nah, I'm stupid. I'm not. I probably should have.
Yeah.
They still move. Like, if I move certain ways and somebody puts like any weight on them, I can feel them shift, and I have to stretch a certain way, and I can feel them like slide back into place.
Oh.
One of my students is a doctor. He's like, "Heath, you probably shouldn't do anything." I was like, "So I'm going to go pay you a bunch of money for another doctor to tell me that?" He's like, "Pretty much. You're going to go in with your ribs right now. You're going to spend hundreds of dollars on a medical visit, and they're going to be like, 'You probably should rest.'" And I'm like, "You know what I do for a living, right?"
Well, it's not like, I got to tell this real quickly. Last night, I had a buddy come over, did a little scenario training, and my wife texts me and says, "I think I need to go to the emergency room." And I'm like, oh. So she had a heart valve replaced many years ago. They had to cut her wide open. So anytime anything happens, we're all on like level 10 alert.
Yeah.
So she texts me, and Sam was here, and he was coming to kind of get away from what he had been dealing with, which was his dad's post-heart surgery. So he comes over here to hang out, to kind of just like hang out with me, and we hadn't seen each other in a while. We were just kind of bullshitted. And so then she texts me, and I'm like, "Dude." And he's like, "Well, looks like I'm not going to leave. I'm going to hang out with you for the remainder of the night. Make sure you're good." And I was like, "Well, I appreciate it." So she goes to the emergency room. Of course, when it comes to heart stuff, they get you in back immediately. And so during the text and stuff, she's like, "Well, my anxiety's up. I'm clammy. I'm having this pain in my collarbone." Well, when she tattoos, she bends down like this.
Yeah.
So like the neck is constantly being kinked. Levels come back. Everything's fine. Blood's fine. EKG's fine.
Yeah.
We're up till 3:00 in the morning. And I'm like, shit, I got a podcast tomorrow, and I'm going to be wiped. Like, cause I couldn't go. She's like, "Just go to sleep. It's fine." Nah.
Yeah.
I'm up there worrying. So anyways, yeah, happened to be nothing. And it's like,
Well, that's a good thing. It was nothing.
it is a good thing, but
Like, I had, speaking of,
you're panicking and you just like rush to, think of it something big.
Injuries in jiu-jitsu are funny. Like, I do everything I can to have a very safe environment. the wildest injury I've ever had in my life, in all the years I've been teaching. We were doing takedowns in the morning. It was a morning class, and two of my students, we were doing takedowns, but we weren't going live. We were just drilling the move. It was a basic single leg. And the way I can describe it is, have you ever seen two guys like look down and bend over and tie their shoes and they hit each other's head?
Yeah.
That's kind of what happened. They just like bend down and they hit each other in the head, and my man got knocked out. They just accidentally headbutted each other, and they weren't going live or anything like that. They were just doing the move. All right. And to this day, he's no longer training at my school, but he's still a really, really good friend of mine. He's a great guy, but he was out. Like, he was out on the mats. And so we get him up, we wake him up. He's like, Heath, I'm going to go home. So he gets in his car, he drives to the stop sign, calls me. Heath, I can't remember where I live.
No.
I was like, all right, you need to come back. Well, his wife's an ER doctor. She comes pick him up, and they carry him and get him scanned and stuff. I call him up the next day. He's like, well, dude, I'm getting ready to go into open heart surgery. I'll call you when I get out.
No.
What happened is when he got knocked out, he didn't even have, I think he might have had just like a slight mild concussion. There was nothing major with it. But when they brought him in, they did a full panel on him. And they noticed that he had a massive heart arrhythmia. Dude, he had almost 98% blockage in one of his arteries, and they put him under immediately. So to this day, every year to the day, both of my students are no longer training. The other one, he moved away to Colorado, got a really good job. He Venmos him $50 for a beer because he saved his life. He's like, dude, had he not knocked me out,
That's crazy.
I would have never known, and I would have died. He's like, I could have died at any day. But if that had not happened on the mats, I could have had a heart attack in my sleep and died and would have never known.
God moment.
Mm-hmm. So like he's like, dude, every year to the day, he Venmos him now like $50 for him to go out and buy a beer for saving his life.
That's great.
By like knocking him out by accident.
Jeez.
That was literally like the craziest injury.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? The wildest thing I've ever had on my mat.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a God moment for sure.
Yeah, it is 110%. Like I was like, but like the thing is me, I was like, dude, this is his personality. He's like, dude, I'm about to go into open heart surgery. I'll call you back. And he just hangs up on me. And I'm sitting there going, you headbutt, you how? Like what has happened since the last time I saw you? You know?
That's crazy.
But that's just his personality. He's like a wild, funny guy, dude.
Oh, wow.
He's a nut. He's a trip.
That's great. I bet you, how long have you been open? You've been there a while, right?
14 years.
Jesus, yeah.
14 years as ECBJJ. I took it over as another school before it became ECBJJ.
Did you? Okay. I got you.
It was slightly toxic.
Gotcha.
The way I grew up in it, it was pretty toxic before I met Hobson.
Yeah. And so when did you transition? Where did you start? Who did you start under prior and then transitioned into Hobson?
All right. So I originally started with Doc Stroud in Kinston. Doc Stroud y'all forgive me if I'm wrong with this. I believe he got all the way to his 9th degree in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu. He was really good. And Richie Honeycutt ended up taking over the school for him. And I ended up getting up to a 2nd degree black belt in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu and Kodokan Judo. I also studied in Shito Karate. And BJJ was kind of coming up, so I started training in it a little bit with Jerry Moreno out in New Bern. At that time, it was at the fairgrounds, and dude, 7 out of 10 guys were Marines. And we're talking like active duty Marines. This was like right at the height of the Iraqi war.
And so that's in New Bern?
Mm-hmm.
So how far is that from Greenville? That's only, what, an hour?
Mm-hmm. So I would drive an hour.
What military base or military installation?
It wasn't with the military.
Oh, it wasn't?
No, he had nothing to do with the military. He was just.
But there was like a bunch of military.
There was
in
a
that area.
lot. Like, dude, Brian Stan trained there. George Lockhart trained there.
Oh shit! Okay.
Like you're talking like very, very knowledgeable guys in the military were training there at the time.
Brian Stan,
Richie Farrell, Stevie Linton. These guys were very, very good. very good. But it was like a Marine type culture too. You know what I mean? So they're all Marines there. So the training was like, God knows, hardcore, like crazy, crazy hardcore. And it ended up splitting to where they opened up a secondary school in Greenville, and Stevie took over that. And Stevie, as a coach, man, he did a really good job with that program. Like, he taught very good fundamentals, very good basics. But he met a girl, and she was going through med school at the time, and she ended up getting, I think, a residency up around like Pennsylvania, and they ended up moving. So I ended up taking over the school, and we ended up separating the Merino thing because, like, it really came to me with taxes. To be completely honest, it's been so far in the background. I could be like, the school wasn't making any money, but I was still an owner, so I was garnered to get like 30% of the money, even from a school I wasn't even attending or putting work in, and then I had to pay taxes on it. So we just thought it was best to completely disband, and from there, culture and stuff like that, man, it wasn't really what I wanted out of school. I saw what I wanted out of a school, but I also saw what I didn't want.
Yeah.
And so when I was coming up, Hobson still is, like, the man. Like, I looked at Hobson more, I looked at Shaolin, and I looked at Marcelo Garcia a lot. And Hobson, man, was just a savage, man. Like, when you watch some of his old fights, dude, like, it was just hardcore. Everything he did was intense, in your face. His jiu-jitsu was some of the most beautifully violent jiu-jitsu you've ever seen. That's the only way I can describe it, you know? And I never thought I'd actually get into the association. At the time, I was a 4-stripe brown belt. I didn't think they'd let me in. And I remember calling, and they said, well, he's going to be at a seminar in High Point. You can go there and meet him, and he'll give you maybe, I think it was like an hour for me to do an interview, right? And it was at Steve's. It was at Steve Snyder's. And there's like a breakfast place right around from the school today. You know what I'm talking about, where his school is? When you pull out, you go down to the right, there was like a restaurant there.
Yeah.
That's where me and Hobson actually did my formal interview to join the association.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was all set up, like, because Steve Snyder allowed me to go in. You know, for Steve, that was a very big thank you to him. I did an interview with Hobson face-to-face. And they let me join. And I've been with Hobson ever since, man. Ever since. It has been a great thing.
Yeah.
A great thing. It's just not just Hobson himself, it's the network that you have with Hobson that makes him special.
Yeah.
Steve Snyder has done so many things for me from the business side of it that I will never be able to thank him enough for. Like, the amount of gratitude that I have to that man for the things he has done that has affected not just my business as a school, but some of the things that has personally affected my family. I can't thank Steve enough for it.
Yeah.
Jeff Mitchell, I always joke, it pains me to say Jeff Mitchell's name. That's just mine and his relationship, because Jeff talks a lot of trash and he's really good at it.
He's the best, though.
Yeah.
I love Jeff.
Jeff has been so good to me over the years too. And it's like the name of the association is Hobson Moore, Nations United. It's Hobson Moore, right? But I think when a lot of people want to come in and look at this association as a whole, and Hobson has done a very good job facilitating this, it's more than just Hobson. The people that you have in this association specifically genuinely care about you and your business. They really do. I have Bruno come in all the time. I've had Shaolin come into my school. I've had Gustavo come into my school. They've all impacted my martial arts in so many various ways to help me be who I am today in this art and in the world that is jiu-jitsu. Without Hobson, I would not have had the ability to have the resources that I have, the network that I have, the people that I have to have learned what I have. It's not me. It's like, I tell everybody, like, some people, they come in and give me so many compliments nowadays. I'm going to be 42 in March. I'll be completely candid. I haven't told many people this. Tracy maybe knows, and this might be a shock to some of my students. I don't have much time left. My competition career is coming to an end. I might have another good 4 to 5 years. Well, Heath, you got 5 years, dude. You've got a kid. Can you hold him anymore like he was 5 years ago? It's the same thing, dude. 5 years is a blink of an eye. I have focused. It's been very apparent in my program. I have focused more on coaching, and I have put forth more of myself into my students now than I probably have when I was younger. And you're seeing the benefits of it. We have put over 40 competitors from my school alone in the last 3 years on the podium at PANS. I think we're right at 47 medals total as a school at just PANS. That's not including other opens in the Southeast and up in the Northeast. My school, thank God, has been doing really well. God has truly blessed me and has truly gifted me with many things. And I think right now I'm at a season in my life where I'm trying to steward the blessings that he's given me and steward them in the way he wants me to steward them. And a lot of that is because he has blessed me by being around people who are better than me in all aspects of what martial arts and jiu-jitsu is, and that I've tried to be smart enough to listen to them, to learn from them, so that way I can take that knowledge and apply it to my life, myself, and also pass it on to my students to the best of my ability.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, coming up, man, I came up rough. When I met Hobson, I always tell people this, man, like, yeah, I was a brown belt, but I didn't know what jiu-jitsu was. I didn't.
Really? Explain that.
Well, I was tough. I was young and I was athletic. I was pretty strong. I had a judo background, so that kind of helped a little bit, but going against a good wrestler, it really didn't help much. But like, I didn't know how to train. I didn't know how to sequence things. And God knows, by the time I met Hobson, I had my own program. The funny thing is, dude, I got a degree in teaching. Like, I went to college, and when I left college, I became a teacher. So I taught like high school for like 5 years. And I didn't know how to teach jiu-jitsu. If we could roll, I could tap you. I could sweep you. I could take you down. I could do all that stuff. And I could show you moves, but there's a difference, and I learned this. I learned this from people far better than me. There's a difference between being able to show someone a move and structure an entire program to where you get consistent results across the board from all your white belts all the way up to your black belts. It's not the same thing, and it's not the same mentality as approach to being a coach.
So do you think that that's kind of like in your head now is kind of like what the goal is in your head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think God puts us in places at different stages of our life. He puts you through so many different challenges and so many different seasons of your life, so that as you grow, you can maybe help the next generation out. Your seasons in life of challenges, your seasons in life of successes, you can kind of pass that on to the next generation to try to help them. I'm doing that with my son. I think no good parent wants their child struggling the way they did. We all want what's great for our kids. I had this stuff happen to me when I was a kid. I do not want that situation ever happening for my child, right? But then again, you're at your age where you're like, man, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't at least understand that struggle to a degree. I wouldn't understand the fear of that struggle for him if I hadn't struggled in it.
Absolutely.
That's just, that's just the truth. And we do everything we can. I look at it as as a parent, I want to do everything I can for my son to make them successful, to make him grow up to be the best person, the best version he can be. And then you look at it, okay, well, I'm an instructor to so many students on the mats. What do I want for them? What do I want for my students? I want my students to be able to do things in this that I couldn't do. That's what I want.
So do you see the progression? Maybe let's use jiu-jitsu as the example of the progression compared to when you first started.
It's different.
To now.
Way different.
So do you think that the advancements, because like you would think like, well, this is how I think, like I think every father wants their kid to be better than them. It's the only person that you want to be better than you, regardless of what you think, right? Because every man is competitive against another man. It's just like more of a human nature.
Life is a competition.
Absolutely.
And if somebody tells you that, no, life is not a competition, they're trying to sell you something.
Right.
All of life is a competition.
Absolutely. 100%. And so, like, you know, it's the only person in my life that I know that I want to do better than me. And I think when, you know, rest in peace to my father, but I think for him too, was like, you know, the reason he got on me or the reason that he pushed me or anything like that was because he wants me to be so naturally. I think that's kind of like how life progresses, even in like jujitsu, where it's like, because you're seeing these 13 and 14-year-old kids nowadays are just like, what the? I mean, that Cassia Mora.
Dude, Cassie's amazing.
Are you kidding me?
She's amazing.
She's like, this girl's like killing it right now.
She's like,
and how old is she?
She's 19.
19,
Getting ready to be
bro.
20. I'll tell you this about Cassia.
Very intelligent, super nice human being.
She is just as good on the mats as she is off the mats.
Mm-hmm.
She's just a good, sweet kid, man.
Very good kid.
She is a sweet, sweet kid. And I got to tip my hat to Bruno as far as mentoring her and bringing her up in the chaotic. Right now, the jiu-jitsu scene is very chaotic. It's growing, which is really, really good, and it's really, really cool, right? But I look at jiu-jitsu right now where karate was in the 90s. And do you remember BMX back in the 90s?
Yes.
BMX went up really quick, didn't it? But what happened? It went...
Well, same with skating too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like... The culture of jiu-jitsu, you're seeing a shift in it, and it's changing a little bit in younger generations. Cassia is a sweet kid. She's got a gold heart. And I got to give my hat off to Bruno. He's doing a really, really good job in navigating her through that right now. Because Bruno's, like, you got to understand that Bruno came up with Hobson. He came up with Gustavo. He came up with Shaolin. He understands the world, and he's raising her in it the best that he knows how as a coach. And I think he's navigating her in a really, really good way. Yeah. I mean, like when she was at my school, dude, we did like my biggest event of the year for belt promotions is Christmas. I'm a really, obviously me being of the Christian faith, I absolutely love the Burr months, not just for bow hunting, but also because of Jesus. And it is my favorite time of the year for Christmas. And I go all out during Christmas. I really do, and we have the biggest event of the year at my business during Christmas time, and it's our annual Christmas rank review. Man, she came out, she put on a Santa Claus hat, and she got on the mats and she rolled with all the kids. She played the games with all of the kids and had fun with all of the kids. And you would not, and a lot of the parents, because parents don't know, they're just there for the event for their kids. A lot of the parents may not have known exactly who was on the mat with their kids.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to look at like literally right now, she is one of the top female athletes in the world.
If not the.
Yeah. Undoubtedly.
Literally.
I mean, she fought up 30 pounds light to, I think she weighed 30 pounds less than all the other girls at heavyweight for No Gi Worlds. And it was pretty one-sided. Really? That was scary. Her talent is amazing, but it's not her talent. So I have young athletes in my school too. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Everybody's heard that, right? It is very, very rare you meet somebody that has talent and that work ethic. When you have someone like that has that work ethic,
extremely rare.
She's got that talent. She's got that ability. Yeah. She works hard all the time. I mean, amazing. Just an amazing talent.
Yeah. Just the combination of having Bruno and then you have guys that's on the side like Gustavo inside the mind of a BJJ athlete. And they're basically, she's got, I mean, and if I'm not mistaken, Gustavo's program that he has.
Mental coach.
Well, it wasn't his, the tribe.
Yeah,
was what she was involved in, right?
From my understanding,
I think that's what it was.
She was part of that. I mean,
And that's the whole thing that he talks about. And I briefly skimmed through his book that he wrote. And it's like, there's some parts in it where I think that his topic is how do you get both, right?
Yeah.
How do you get character and work ethic, or how do you get character, work ethic, and talent? That's like the hardest combo. Because if you listen to any like D1 level coaches in football, they always talk about like, the guys that they want is like the with character.
I'll take a B-level athlete all day.
Right. Because you can, because these guys are going to outwork, and eventually they're going to get to that next level for sure.
You got to look at it. There's a lot of truth, and I think it's like we were talking today, right? And this kind of goes in line a little bit what we're talking about. We had an adult athlete come in here today while we were doing a private, right? Great kid, really nice kid. There's a very big difference in the sacrifices needed today to be an adult level competitor in jiu-jitsu and a master's level competitor. The sacrifice isn't the same. So if you're an adult level competitor and you're not married, you don't have a kid, you have a job, you can show up and train. And you can be as obsessed and as selfish as you want to be with it. And the ones that are at the high level like that, they have to be nowadays. They have to be. Your master level competitors, however, they have a full-time job. They may have 2 kids. They have a 401k, a house payment, a mortgage payment. They have to make sacrifices. So I see this quite a bit on my own mats and when I go to other places. I see the adult competitors in there who have all the potential in the world in front of them. And as they're going through the drills, it's just going through the motions. Like, oh, I got to do this again. We're doing half guard again. We're doing this mess again. But the single mom who's got 2 kids, who's putting herself through school and deciding to do a major, is out working them. And she can only do it 2 days a week because of her schedule with her kids and her work. So she's making sure her time on the mats, she's more intentional on the mats than some of the adult competitors that I'm seeing. The good adult competitors have the same discipline and work ethic as the master level competitors. The difference is they keep that and they can do it 7 days a week. The master level competitors, because of other obligations in life, they can't do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And there's a lot to it. I mean, it's work ethic, number one. You can have all the talent in the world. Me and Gustavo Dantes talk about this all the time. I have kids come in the entire world. Heath, isn't he so good? Isn't he so talented? Isn't she so talented? I never praise a kid for their talent.
Right.
Now, you'll hear me praise kids for their work ethic, but not for their talent. Anybody can be talented. I mean, it's like I tell athletes all the time, I'm going to go to Penn's. Okay, why do you think you'll do well? Man, I'm strong. I'm explosive. I'm fast, man. They can't keep up with my pace. You think you're the only one God made that way? How many people do you know that can make it to AAA in baseball but couldn't cut in the majors?
Not many.
Are you see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a big jump.
Huge.
That is a very, very big jump. What's the difference between making it to the NFL and collegiate? That much, maybe? Yeah. In the grand scheme of things?
Yeah.
Let's be real. I mean,
there's very little.
If you're a college football player at a major university, you're one of the most elite athletes on the world.
Absolutely.
What's separating you from the guys that make it to the NFL? It's not much. But that much in the world of professional sports at the level we're talking about is a very big gap.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big gap.
Yeah.
And that's what makes jiu-jitsu wild, man. Me and Hobson and Bruno have talked about this many times. Like, what sport can you, at 35 years old, wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm going to go to Worlds today? What sport? You can't do that in baseball. You can't do that in basketball. You can't do that in football.
Right.
it's insane.
It is insane.
The opportunity to be able to compete at the highest level as a person who's in her 30s with a family and kid. You're like, man, I played sports when I was in high school, maybe a little bit in college. And you're like, man, I want to do something like that. And I want to do it at a high level. Dude, you got Flo Grappling out there everywhere filming just about every event now.
Right.
Dude, the master level divisions, man, they're tough. They're tough. And the reason why they're tough is because of the sacrifice a lot of those athletes have to make to be there. And a lot of people don't look at the sacrifice that athletes, and I have to look at this as a coach, right?
Right.
So like when people come up to me and they say, hey, Heath, I want to go to PANS, which that's coming up in March, right? I look at the person telling me that, I look at what their rank is, and I look at how much money they're going to have to invest in themselves to go down there to see if it's even worth their while going down there. Dude, you realize the time you're going to put into this, you're not getting that time back with your kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to move things around your household. You're going to have a talk with your spouse that your spouse might not understand. There's a lot with it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot with it. Now, if you're 22, 23 years old, you can be selfish.
Right.
And the thing is, like, I'm not trying to say you can be selfish and that be a negative thing. I'm not trying to say that, Sean. Like, I'm not.
Well, everything has a sacrifice. Like,
Yeah.
Everything has a consequence.
Yeah.
Even good consequences or bad consequences.
Mm-hmm. You have
so
to.
if you're going to go and compete at these, these tournaments, I mean, ultimately you're going to have to sacrifice some time, and that time could prevail a consequence of, not being around your kid.
Yep.
Or, slacking on work, or,
So if you have a mom or a dad who loves their kid and they're like, I have a goal, I want to go podium at a major this year or attempt a podium at a major.
Yeah.
And they know that's going to be one less day a week away from their kid.
Yeah.
How focused do you think they're on the mats?
Yeah. But I mean, the thing is too, it comes down to like, when you're disciplined as a person, and again, planning for something like this too is like, you have 24 hours in a day. Mm-hmm. What does that 24 hours look like? How many hours do you need to be getting to sleep, eating your meals, spending time with your family, running your businesses? Now, us as business owners, you really are working 24/7.
Yep.
But we also have a little bit more of a leniency towards we're in control of our time ultimately. Yeah. So, if I want to spend an extra hour here, extra hour there, or I want to put something off till next week, and as long as it doesn't affect anything, I can do that. I have the ability to do that. So I guess I'm just speaking from like us business owner standpoint, but I still think a guy that's a 9-to-5er, as long as he's putting those, those actions in place and holds to them and stays disciplined,
Yeah.
I don't think it really matters.
But I see so many, like, it's crazy to me because I see so many people who are talented and they come in and they look at things like it's mundane. They don't drill correctly because they think they're above the drilling. I see that everywhere. It's not just my school. Yeah. I see it when I go to other schools. And these are...
Well, I catch myself doing that. I'll be honest. I mean, it tends because I'm like, oh, we're doing this again. We just did this. You know what I mean? I already know how to do it. I already know how to do it. I do it. But the details of things that I've been missing for a long time. For instance, working the half guard, I'm starting on an elbow versus my shoulder, and here's why. Ding! Didn't think about that one, right? Yeah. So it's like, anyways, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's the thing. Like
you start seeing those, I guess is what I'm saying, as you start to develop and stick around during those mundane moments where you get to a blue belt level, and you see a lot of blue belts will get to like that, and I was there too, first and second degree, and they don't come back no more.
Blue belt's hard.
Man, it was hard for me.
Blue belt's very hard.
It was very hard for me.
Because, like, for the first time, I think, when you're a white belt, everything's new. Mm-hmm. And let's be real, there's no expectations.
Shouldn't be. Just beat a class.
Mm-hmm. There's no expectations. When you get your blue belt, the pressure to perform's there for the first time. You feel like for the first time I actually have to perform. And you put more pressure on yourself. And let's be real, by the time you get your blue belt, you may have 1 or 2 systems that work. And the rest of it's mat experience. There's just like basically through longevity on the mats compared to other white belts. You may have 1 or 2 systems that realistically work. That's been my experience with blue belts. So like for instance, you have a blue belt who's got a really, really good flower sweep. He's a white belt, he's got a really good flower sweep. And then when he gets to mount, he takes the back and then he can bow and arrow. That's his game. Does he know how to do a scissor sweep? Yes. Does he know how to do a hip bump sweep? Yes. Does he know the mechanics, the basics of the other positions? Yes. But when he's in a roll and he wants to win the round, he's going to flower sweep you and he's going to take your back from mount and he's going to bow and arrow you. Fair? When you get the blue belt, he may be a blue belt rolling wise in that system. But if you ask him, say, hey man, I only want you to do the bump sweep. He knows how to do it, but he can't do it. He might still be a white belt at that. The knowledge might be there, but the application might not.
Right.
I see that across the board a lot. I mean, there are black belts that are like that. Like I tell everybody, like if you see me in deep half, I'm in trouble. Do I know deep half? Yeah. Can I put you in deep half and sweep you? Yes. If I was at pans, do I want to pull deep half first with my systems as what I'm good at? No, it's not my first route. You know what I mean? It's like you're going to have things that you're naturally good at, and you're going to have things that you're like, okay, I'm at this level with it, but it's not really where I want to be. I mean, you look at like Formiga Barbosa. If Formiga grabs your belt and your sleeve, he's butterfly sweeping you. He's that consistent. If he wins the belt from guard and he gets your sleeve, he's going to butterfly sweep you. There's no in between. It doesn't matter who you are. I've studied that man for over 10 years. I've had to be in his division. Everybody knows Formiga's going to pull guard. He's going to grab your belt. He's going to grab your sleeve, and you're going to go for a ride. I'm telling you, like it's like that consistent. Formiga, as an athlete, I know he knows deep half. I know he knows De La Riva. I know he knows spider guard. I know he knows all these other amazing guards, right? And is he competent at them as a black belt and instructor? Absolutely. But when Formiga goes and steps on those mats, he's sitting on his butt, he's grabbing your belt and your sleeve, and you're going for a ride.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's consistency. What does Gordon Ryan do when every time he gets on top of somebody? He camps. He gets to that camp position, man, and if he gets chest to chest with a crossface and an underhook, bro, it's a long day. Everyone knows what he's going to do. They just can't stop it because he's that consistent. And that consistency has to be done every day. The stuff that you see these guys do at this high level, they're doing it every single day. They're not going into their academies to win every single round. They're going in their academies with one purpose, to get good at one structure.
Right.
It's like I was telling you today, if your goal is to get good at half guard or spider guard or whatever guard, right? If Monday night you go in there and you're playing half guard, then Tuesday night you go in there and you're playing De La Riva, then Wednesday night you're going in there playing close, and Thursday night you're doing nothing but passing or takedowns. How do you even gauge you got good at jiu-jitsu that week?
So are you gauging that off of, like, okay, for instance, I go to class. I show up Monday night. We're training, you know, I don't know. We're training a closed guard, some closed guard stuff.
Yeah.
All right. And then at the end of class, you hear, all right, we're going to roll, but you're getting ready to set up for your competition's coming in 3 months. Are you going to roll with what you're training that day in class, or are you going to revert to I'm going in with my system because I'm preparing for pans?
So
Does that what I'm saying?
So you're sitting there saying, okay, like my instructor's teaching this in class, but I'm getting ready for pans.
Yep.
So I have my students ask me that all the time because it's like, well, Heath, look, you're telling me I need to work this, but in class you're teaching this. What do I need to do? I was like, look, I know you're going to major. All right, I already know what my athletes can and can't do because I roll them and I see how they move, so I understand what their movement capabilities are. So I know when I teach a sequence in class, I already have an idea what percentage population of my student body can do it and can't do it. I already know. All right.
So you're basing that around what you.
I tell you, like, if you're going to pans and your game is single leg X, that's what your game is, or your game is half guard. What I'm doing in class needs to be movement in your mind, I'm just drilling a new movement, or it needs to be situational for in case you get put there. When you're rolling, the only thing you're thinking about is the system you're going to use at that competition.
Copy that. Right.
Because like what could end up happening is, say I'm teaching at position A, but you're really working mainly position B, but you get to a competition and at some time in that match, you're in position A. There's some familiarity there. There's at least familiarity there for you to help navigate you back to your position that you want to be in.
But it may also be good to have your partner be doing that to you.
Yeah.
And then you're working your system against what you're being taught that day in class, for instance. And I guess I'm referencing preparing for PANs, right? Like if you're in class, like, you know, you're going to have your weekly, you know, whatever you're working on that week is typically like what your classes are geared towards. So, okay, that's good, because sometimes I'm like, all right, well, I enjoy rolling with the new technique that we're learning and seeing if I can get it. And so I guess from the mindset of competition is,
all right. So like if it's a new technique, all right.
you get what I'm saying?
You've heard the adage, right? 10,000 reps for mastery, right? It takes 10,000 repetitions to master something, right? You have 3 months to get ready for PANs. No, you're not going to have enough. You're not going to have enough time.
No,
you're not going to have enough time.
No.
As a master level competitor, you're not going to have enough time.
No.
And Heath, if I do 2,000 reps Monday, 2,000 reps Wednesday, no, that's not what I'm talking about. 10,000 reps would be 10,000 reps over time with different training partners of different intentions, of different athletic attributes, different pressures. You see what I'm saying? Different mentalities towards
it. It would be years.
Yeah. You're not going to find a super magic move that's going to put you on the podium at a major. That ain't happening.
Right.
You have to spend time in sequencing. You have to spend time in systems to where you fully understand the system itself, and you can apply that system across multiple body types.
So why am I now just like being able to see what you're talking about as far as systems versus obviously when I was like maybe a blue belt when I first got my blue belt versus now? Why is it that it's easier to pick up and see this stuff than, for instance, as a blue belt? And I'm referencing guys that might be struggling as a blue belt right now, and they might, you know, you can show them the move, but they don't understand the sequence. And I'm still learning what that even means. But when you were showing me some stuff today in our private, it just kind of didn't really open my eyes, but it was just like, that's the verbiage that I need to like put things together for myself. Is like, okay, I need to break it down into a sequence and focus on that sequence.
Yeah.
What do you think that is? Is it just time on the mats? Is it just the fact that because I don't feel like I got smarter, you know what I mean?
Well, but here's what happens. This is like, I'm going to say this, and then Hobson's going to slap me in the face. Bruno's going to slap me in the back of the head, and I don't even know what Gustavo will do to me. But I'm going to say this. Most instructors, their idea is, this month, we're going to focus on X. And you make an entire syllabus, and you do that entire syllabus across the board. Some students, you see skill acquisition in it. Some students, you don't. The students that you see skill acquisition in it, it's not a large amount over a month, but it's enough to see that they understood the concepts that you were teaching. The other ones, they just did the moves in class, and then when it came back to rolling, they did whatever they wanted. That's what happens. So when you're sitting there talking about, hey, Heath, when I'm a blue belt, this and that, why am I understanding sequencing now coming in on purple? Here's why. Because over time and longevity and training, you learned a technique from mount. Then you learned a technique from the back. You learned a bunch of techniques from side, a bunch of techniques from your guard, right? In the middle of a round, you get there, and all of a sudden you remember the move. And then you try it, and it doesn't work. And then you keep on rolling and keep on rolling. Then you get to another position. And, oh, I remember this position. I'm going to try this move now. And it either works or it doesn't work. With longevity training, I hate to say it, dude, from my experience, that's how some people, or a lot of people actually learn it. And I don't think that's the right way to learn it. You need to understand that, like, when people come up to me and they say, "Hey, Heath, man, my mount sucks, dude. I lost this past weekend. Dude, I was in at Charlotte Open and the dude mounted me. And, bro, I just can't defend mount. None of my mount escapes work." I was like, "Well, let me see your match." And I'm watching the matches, and this is every match I break down. Your mount escapes don't suck. He's like, "I couldn't get out of mount." The dude had you in mount 2 positions before that with his hand placement. If you'd addressed his hand placement, he wouldn't have been able to pass you, or he wouldn't have been able to mount you. You lost that position and you lost that match 2 positions before the one you actually were put in, because the guy had sequencing to it. When you roll Hobson more, Gustavo, Bruno, Shaolin, Hobson especially, and I'm going to give out this secret on him. If he's on top of you, the hand that he grabs you with is going to be the hand that he uses to pass you with. It's going to be the hand the same grip, he's using it to pass you with, he's using it to maintain with, and he's using it to submit you with or advance. He's not just grabbing you here, and then when he gets to this position, he lets it go and go somewhere else. He's already setting up 2 transitions ahead with that one grip. So if he gets like Hobson and Shaolin specifically, if I'm underneath Hobson and he's got me in side control and he has his thumb in my collar, right? Same with Shaolin. I never turn into him because I'll live longer if I turn away. And you're like, "Well, Heath, you turn away, he's going to take it back." No, if I turn into him or Shaolin, I'm getting clock choked or 2x4 choked.
Yeah.
That grip he got when he passed my guard. He didn't get that grip when he was inside. He was already setting up that chain in that sequence the moment he approached my guard, not when he got me inside.
Right.
That is sequencing. That is chaining. It's not I land here, then I do this move. I'm in your guard. I'm going to get this grip. This grip, I'm going to use the pass. This grip's also going to help me maintain the pass. It's either going to help me advance to the next dominant position, mount or the back, or it's also going to help me submit you. That's chaining, and that is sequencing. But so many people, because how they learn, they don't structure their jiu-jitsu that way.
Right.
They roll to win. They roll to submit every round.
Right.
And I'm not against submissions. My God, dude, I love getting the submission is like, that's it. You know what I mean? But it's like I tell everybody, like, your positional jiu-jitsu should be so good that it is your self-defense. I mean, look at Tynan Dalper, man. When was the last time you saw someone earn a dominant position on him? Look at Gordon Ryan. Look at Hodger Gracie. Look at all these other top-named athletes. When was the last time someone earned a dominant position on them? I've rolled Hobson and Bruno a lot. I've rolled them a lot. I've got to drill and train with Shaolin a few times, and I've got to drill with Gustavo quite a bit. I love every single one of those guys. They have all helped my jiu-jitsu. Dude, every time I roll them, I don't even get the angle to attack them. Their positional jiu-jitsu is so far advanced. You can't put them in a bad spot. That is power. Like when they can angle themselves to you to where you're not even a threat. That's power in jiu-jitsu. That is real self-defense.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's talking like there's a difference now. You hear like self-defense jiu-jitsu versus like competition jiu-jitsu. Like, dude, it's the same.
I've never understood that.
Well, a lot of people sort of say, well, this guy's jiu-jitsu is only for competition. I'm like, dude, look at Ron Hall. Look at Ron Hall. That boy.
Good fucking luck.
Look at that.
My language.
God, look at that boy.
Yeah.
He's sitting at an Italian restaurant and some drunk dude At the time, like, dude, like I came up on the circuit when Ryan was tearing up everybody at Nagas. My man was triangling everybody. And then he went out to his deep half stuff. He was tearing everybody up, pulling guard, going deep half, doing all these crazy waiter stuff. And if you messed up, he put you in a triangle and you're going night-night. Like, and everyone's sitting there criticizing him. Like, yeah, that's just competition. That's just competition. My man gets in a fight, and what does he do? Double legs the guy, takes his back, and puts him to sleep like that. Like, you just sit back there and think that a high-level jiu-jitsu athlete can't do a takedown? Today, that these guys don't know how to take somebody down or take a fight to the ground? You don't think Mikey Musumeci doesn't know how to do a double leg? And that is one of the biggest guard pulls in all jiu-jitsu today. I mean, he's sitting there doing some stupid, like, karate crane kind of stuff in one of his last matches. He looked like the Karate Kid out there. But to sit back and say, well, look, that is the game. That is the sport. Had Mikey needed to do a takedown on somebody for self-defense, I got no doubt in my mind that Mikey Musumeci doesn't know how to do a double leg or a single leg and take someone down and put them on their back like that. There's no doubt in my mind.
Right.
As a competitive black belt as 42 years old in March, thank God, I know how good I am. I know how good I'm not. But I'm also not stupid.
Right.
I know tactically, Mikey's probably sitting there going like, yeah, I ain't standing with this guy. It's going to waste too much energy. I can go ahead and get to his legs here, and I can save energy to fight him somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's tactics.
These guys are so tactical.
It's tactics, and it's smart. I mean, that's what makes jiu-jitsu so awesome and so hard compared to other grappling arts. If I know you've got really good takedowns, I might think in my heart that I can take you down. But if I'm in a major, God knows, man, I don't want to stand up war right now. And I got this next guy in the next round. If I beat him, I'll be exhausted. I know I can sweep him. I'm going to pull guard. Maybe I can trick him into pulling on me, but I don't want to overly aggressively fight for a takedown with this guy because I know in the next round, this next guy's going to be hard. I have to be smart with my energy. It's like when you go to a super fight, you might have a super fight, like a fight to win or something, and it's one match. And nowadays you got footage on them. You give me footage on somebody, dude, I can get you good tactics. If I got footage within 6 months of somebody, I can tell you how you need to approach them. When you go to an IBJJF or a major, dude, you got 20 people in your division. That's 20 different styles. That's 20 different mentalities. That's 20 different types of aggression. That's 20 different types of body lengths. That is the most inconsistent environment you can go into from a structured standpoint for jiu-jitsu.
Right.
You have to be consistent because your competition's not.
Right.
But if it's a super fight, you can make your systems consistent to one person.
Right.
And I'm not saying that's easy. Like I'm making it sound easy, but you know, I mean,
it's not.
There's work that's got to be done, but the mentality behind how you can prepare an athlete for those events, it's not the same.
But how would you prepare for someone like a Makachev or a Khabib? I'm butchering his dang last name. Khabib Nurmagomedov. How do you prepare? I mean, these guys don't do jiu-jitsu per se. They're more grappling, wrestling.
I'm going to tell you a secret.
But dude, no one.
No,
and
hold on, wait. I know exactly where you want. All right.
I've never seen. Can they get submitted? What is going on? Where is their game? That it's like their steps
basic.
That's what I'm saying.
Their game is basic. Look, have you ever heard people say
controller hips?
And this is going to be really bad too. I'm probably going to slap in the face for this one. Have you heard it said in MMA that jiu-jitsu is dying and that wrestling is king?
I hear it from the standpoint of I haven't heard that exact statement, but a million things come to my mind when
you've heard it alluded to.
Well, because you're punching at this point, so
it's not even punching.
But you have to get to a certain position in order to control them, in order to even throw a punch, right?
So I've heard for years that wrestling is now overtaking MMA.
You do hear that.
Wrestling is now overtaking MMA,
yes,
and that jiu-jitsu itself is a dying art. Okay.
I know. Yep.
I don't know what the heck anybody's talking about because it's been happening in jiu-jitsu for the last 10 years too. You go to any major, when I look at the adult divisions at blue belt, D1 wrestler, high school wrestler, maybe a jiu-jitsu guy.
For making podiums. Yeah.
All right. What is one of the biggest things you always hear about people talking about when you say he's in this position, watch him to wrestle up, watch him to wrestle up. Wrestling-based structures have become so much more prevalent even in the jiu-jitsu community, not just MMA.
Sure.
Even in the world of jiu-jitsu.
I agree with that.
Even in the world of jiu-jitsu, if you can wrestle, you can determine when and where the fight goes to on the ground.
Yes.
And you don't even have to care in jiu-jitsu if you get taken down, if you know you cannot wrestle the guy and get back up. That's reality.
Right.
And if you don't believe me, we just talked about Cassia. Bruno Bastos, listen to me. Hobson Moore, Vitor Shaolin, Bruno Bastos, Gustavo Dantes, those 4 guys in the world of jiu-jitsu, they're on the wall in my business for a reason. Every single one of them has greatly impacted my jiu-jitsu. Go watch Cassia. Watch her takedowns. She literally has amazing jiu-jitsu, but those girls could not wrestle her either.
Right.
You're seeing wrestling-based systems more and more come in. And it ain't just no gi, dude. It's in the gi.
Yeah.
There's no difference.
No.
It's just jiu-jitsu. People are trying to sit there and say, hey, man, we have gi jiu-jitsu and no gi jiu-jitsu. The only difference is the rules. If your grappling ability is a blue belt, you should be able to grapple as a blue belt in a gi and without a gi.
Well, I mean, I've gotten better at no gi because of gi.
I can believe that.
Because it's a lot harder in the gi because you're having to you it's easier in controlling them. But if you're going to pull a move off with somebody gripping you like that, and you can pull that same move off without them gripping you,
I tell everybody this, like a lot of people don't know this about me. The majority of training I did all the way up to brown belt was no gi.
Really?
Yeah. I really didn't start training in the gi much until I got my brown belt. I mean, I came from like an all no gi school, and I did not start learning jiu-jitsu until I met Hobson. I didn't know how to learn jiu-jitsu. I might have had moves, but I didn't learn the art until I met Hobson. Hobson really slowed me down. He gave me perspective. And then through Hobson, from the jiu-jitsu side of everything, I met really good instructors in our association, Jeff, Steve. And then they're still in our family, Bruno, Gustavo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's different. Like when people come up to me and they're like, yeah, man, I want to come in. I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm going to train really hard. I was like, I don't think you know how world champions really train, man. I've talked to them. I know what they did. I know what they're doing. I know how Bruno's putting Cassia through the mess right now.
Yeah.
I know if Mateus decides to go to the Worlds, I know what Hobson's going to expect of him.
Yeah. But look how hard he trains.
Mateus is a beast.
That dude's a beast.
But,
He's at every open. That guy rolls all the time. I tried to smash and pass him and got flipped upside down and one side or the other. I can't, that guy is like.
I have to tell you this, dude. Like, that kid.
Wow. He's good, dude.
Dude, when he got his black belt, man. So he was just.
How old is he? He's young, right?
I think
his 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
he's amazing, absolutely amazing. But the crazy thing is, it's like I've trained with him on and off at camps and stuff like that. So I've got to see his progression from purple to brown and then brown to black.
Yeah,
dude. When he came and he taught my last pants camp in March, the level of competition he has seen since getting his black belt, like Pato, Diego Hayes, Lucas Pinero, he's been rolling. And dude, those guys, he is more than holding his own with them. His level of jiu-jitsu right now is insane. That kid is so amazing. He's got so much, and his work ethic with it. Oh my God, man. Oh my God, it is fun to train with Mateus. It really
What a
is.
cool dude.
Yeah,
I got to
mean,
get him on the podcast. I would love to.
Look, Hobson's got another black belt in there. Hafa Cadena, amazing.
Was he the one that was with Mateus when they taught us that
Yes.
that hour
Yeah.
of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Dude, watching them roll was
Dude,
bro,
Hafa,
that was sick. And
Hafa's
they're
awesome, man.
great
That
dudes.
kid, I'm like, whenever I go to opens and stuff like that, sometimes he'll be there. Like, especially if I go down to Atlanta, he does it a lot. Man, he is very smart and he is very tactical. And his fluidity, man, there's not many in his age bracket as fluid as him. And that's saying something because like he's got a tough age division that he's in. He's like in Master 1 now. Man, Hoffa's a beast, dude. I mean, but I mean, like they got Rodrigo Prachetas down there too. Like big Rodrigo's down there running classes with Hobson, and
that dude's an animal too, bro.
I know he took 30 pounds last year. Like I mean, like
Dude, I went down there in this would have been in June or was it May or June this year, and like holy smokes, dude, we were in there for an hour and a half. And Hobson's teaching is like, he shows it, boom. If you're not caught on by Monday's class and you're in Thursday, you're lost because he moves in boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But then we get to rolling. And like, it was 6-minute rounds and it was just roll after roll after roll after roll after. No, it was roll. And these guys are not drinking water. They don't take water breaks. No water breaks.
Nope.
I don't even think I saw them drink water for 90 minutes. Okay. I'm over there gassing. I don't like doing it just because I don't like it in my stomach sloshing around. But then you see all the black belts and like all the high level dudes, bro, they're just chilling.
Yeah.
Just like, and they're sitting there watching all the like
and you watch
purple belts and
Hobson
brown
in there,
belts.
dude. Like Hobson, man, he's just he has to be part vampire. He's aging the way he's aging, man.
How's that work? He's reversing.
I have no idea.
He's reversing.
The things he does, like last time I rolled him,
He's 47.
dude. The last time I rolled him, he like
He looks younger than you and I.
dude. He did a handstand on me, and I'm literally going like I'm trying because like I talk trash to him because my goal is I'm going to butterfly sweep Hobson Mora, and then I'm going to retire and sell my school. And I've never
They
had.
all love
bro,
talking trash to you.
Bro.
You're like the trash talking
it-
king.
I hope Hobson Moore is watching this. I am going to butterfly sweep him, take my gi off, retire from jiu-jitsu, and sell my business. And then I'm going to move to the beach somewhere and drink a mojito because I've never had one, but I guarantee you after sweeping him with a butterfly sweep, they taste amazing. Dude, man, like the things that man's done to me over the years, man, it's unreal. He's so innovative. Like Bruno and like Shaolin and Gustavo, they're very systematic. A, B, C. They keep you in like systems. Hobson's so innovative. Like
the grip thing that he was showing
Yeah.
us for the sweep from it was a Kimura sweep, but you had the grip and then you were punching the elbow. Remember that one?
Yeah.
He was punching the elbow back through and you're almost purposely jacking it and then continuing the sweep.
I don't
I'm
know.
like, what the hell is this?
I don't know what he was smoking when he thought of that.
No, they literally were
like-
he just saw it.
I was like, dude, like he can
Incredible.
his ability to see and predict movement based off of angles is unreal to me. It's like
The passing with the toes in
Dude,
connection on the inside of the gi where he's with
I'm gonna be
Bernardo.
real. This is my opinion. This might not be what really happened, but in my experience with Hobson, this is what happened. Hobson's in the middle of that super fight, and he's like, I need my hands. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna just put my toe here. And then he got both hands. He probably made that up in the middle of the round. In my experience with him, we were in Toronto back when I was a brown belt. And he's like, Heath, come here. We start drilling deep half stuff. Dude, he had over 100,000 hits on social media with a lapel-based deep half sweep that he did. And he made it up. And when he did it, the first time he did it, when he made it up, it looked like he'd been doing it for 20 years.
That's crazy. The one I watched of him when he was doing the BJJ Fanatics with Bernardo. Is it Bernardo who does it? And he shows this inside pass. It's like I think he had like an over under, but he had the grip on the pants, and then he took his toes, and he curled his toes in the gi, and passed.
Yeah.
Well, what the fuck is this,
dude? Like I'm telling you, he did that in a super fight at Polaris.
Oh, he did do that.
No, in the middle of the match, that's where he did it. And I'm like, he may say, no, I worked out a couple months before I did. I'm like, dude, in my experience with Hobson, he made that stuff up. He just does stuff. It's like the craziest thing to me. Like his understanding of basics and concepts are so advanced. He can make stuff up. He's so innovative. He's so creative, man. It's unreal.
It's sad to know that you'll never be as good as him, and you'll until the day you die.
No. What's going to happen? I'm going to butterfly sweep that.
Let's
man.
get it.
I'm going to butterfly sweep him. The last time I did it, he cartwheeled past me, and he got my back, and then he just started like rubbing my head, like it's okay, Heath, it's okay. I just toying with me, man. That's all they do is toy with me.
Oh yeah,
It's
but at
fun,
that
though.
level, I mean, these guys are, it's really just like you can just kind of like you can test so many things because your knowledge is so huge, and so it's almost like they go back to the beginning again, and they're like, let's look at this, let's look at opening the guard,
Dude, like,
and now all of a sudden they're doing something that, you know what I mean, like. That they just made up, and you're just like, wait a minute, what the fuck is this?
people like my younger ranked students, like for instance, when I have them come in for seminars and stuff like that they've never met Hobson or they've never met like Bruno and they're like, well, like I'm sure he's good. I was like, no, he's not good. He's incredible. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
well,
right.
I'm a white belt to him. No, I'm a white belt to him.
For sure.
There's no comparison about it. To Bruno, to Hobson, Gustavo, Shaolin, I am a white belt to them.
Yeah.
When it comes to skill on the mat, knowledge on the mat, technical advancement, technical knowledge, everything. Yeah. When it comes to, they have been doing this so long and they have won it at the highest levels of highest levels. I am a white belt to them, man. Straight up. I openly hardly admit. So like, and people start talking to me like, why can you do? I was like, dude, look, I have been extraordinarily blessed by God that I've had so many good people around me to help me. That's why. Yeah, I'm serious, man. in so many different aspects of jiu-jitsu or of the martial arts, right, as a whole.
I kind of want to go. Well, I wouldn't say going in a different direction with this conversation. But just kind of tie this in. I know we talked a month ago, and you said, man, I'd really like to talk about Jesus.
Oh, yes.
And I'd like to talk about God and my relationship and walking with him. I struggle with it severely, and I think most of us do. I think, I think everybody can add more faith into their life. And I think it's just, it's supposed to be that way, but I just want you to kind of like go down maybe, your walk with God, Jesus, and, where that all kind of stemmed from. Maybe, you were shown, someone showed you who he was when you were young, or, and how does that impact your life today, and what, you feel really strongly about, having that relationship, and like what it really like truly means to you as a person.
Well,
I know there's a lot, but
no, I mean, I was raised in a Christian household. My mom and dad were divorced when I was young. My mother is a literal walking miracle. My youngest memories of my mom were when I was 8 years old. She had a cerebral hemorrhage. She had an aneurysm in her brain. And most kids, when they're growing up, they, you remember those like gray sheets of paper with the blue lines where you learn to write the alphabet on.
Sure.
I was writing in cursive, and my mom was relearning the alphabet when I was 8. My mom wasn't supposed to be here. And a funny story about that, too, it kind of goes back into like how God kind of looks out for you. So my mom had a cerebral hemorrhage, and she was married to, he was my stepfather. And my mom went to a coma for 27 days, and we didn't think she was going to make it. My grandmother and my grandfather were very religious, and they took me and my sister in. And my mom started making recoveries over time. But if it weren't for my grandma and my granddad, in a lot of ways, it's not that my dad didn't care about me, didn't want to be around or anything like that. They were pretty much in a custody battle for me to stay with my mom during that time. That's kind of what it ended up being. And I remember my granddad telling me when I was in his truck one day with him, and we were, I don't know, like you're raised in California, right? All right. So in the South, back in the day, one of the best drinks to have was a Coca-Cola with peanuts in it. I mean, that's what granddads used to do back where I'm from. So he took me to the store, and we rode by a church. And I remember I'm at his church, and we were talking about God's house and stuff like that. And my granddad said, if you ever have a doubt in your life about God, just look at your mother, because she shouldn't be here. And I've got a very different relationship with my mom because of that, because the things I remember growing up. And the older I got, I started coming to that reasoning. Like, I was always around Christian Homestead, but it wasn't until later in life, I would say right before I had my son, that I actually accepted Jesus fully into my heart. I knew about him, you know what I mean? And it got harder. I'll be completely honest. Like, if you sit out there and you're listening to this and you think, well, I'm going to be a Christian, it's going to be easy. No, being a Christian is very hard. It is very hard because it's a constant state of failure. Repenting is not a one-day thing. When you're repenting from past sins, when you're trying to get over your past life and stuff like that, it is a everyday struggle, man. True. And it's like jiu-jitsu in a lot of ways. I mean, every day you step on the mat, you're going to fail. That's where grace comes in. But don't be deceived by his grace either. You have to try. You have to keep moving forward every day. I can tell you, for me, the best part about my faith is it has grown me closer to my family. It has made me a better father. It has made me a better business owner. I don't own my business. It's God's business. I just steward it. People ask me, Heath, how many students you have? I really don't know. I know God knows who's coming, and he knows who's going. I feel like the people who are coming into my business, they're there for a reason. He calls us to be salt and light. Salt, biblically, is meant to stop decay. We are to be the thing on this earth that stops it from decaying. And we are to be the light of the world so that the world sees his light in us. That is what we are called to be for Christ, salt and light. And I believe when people come into my business, I try to the best of my ability to steward it for God like it's his business. The parable of the talents is something that really strikes hard into me. I think about that parable quite a bit, especially lately as I've been talking about this year, trying to steward the gifts God's given me, to make sure I'm stewarding them the way that he wants me to steward them. But it's hard. It's a struggle, man. Like, if you're saying, well, Heath, I have struggles in faith, struggles with this, a part of my faith, I would say you really need to start setting up time, in my opinion, to read the Bible and get into Scripture. I would start in Proverbs. There's a lot of wisdom in the book of Proverbs.
It's scary.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of wisdom in Proverbs. From a standpoint of books that really speak to me, The book of James. The book of James is very straightforward. It is a very straightforward book, as is the book of Romans. If you stay in the scripture and develop time one-on-one with God, it will never hurt your life. It will only make it better.
Right.
Because he does love you, and he
Yeah.
wants good things for you, and he wants good things for your family. But he gives you stuff that you have to steward. He's not going to give you more than what you can steward.
That's right.
I try to take that in as serious as I can every day, because like as a dad, I want Grayson growing up knowing God, knowing that he grew up in a household with a mom and dad that loved him, that wanted what was best for him in life. So that way when he grows up and he starts building his own life apart from us, he has a strong rock and foundation to step on. But it has been a tremendous impact on my life since following Christ. It has made me, I feel like, in a lot of ways, a better friend, a better jiu-jitsu coach. Me and my wife would argue if it's made me a better husband or not. This past bow season, she would tell you most
God or not.
my wife would tell you this past bow season, most definitely not.
Yeah.
But no, like it. If anybody's out there looking or struggling with their faith, and you're dealing with conviction, specifically like, well, Heath, I believe in Jesus, but every time I do this, I feel bad because I know it's not what he wanted. I would say you're in a good place with Jesus. That conviction is a good thing.
Yeah.
That is a very good thing if you're being convicted.
Yeah.
I have many friends of mine, because like a lot of people know we have a Bible study at the academy. One of my purple belts runs it. He's doing a fantastic job. I've literally had sermons on the mats preached at my school. I don't require anybody to go to them. I just let everybody know that, hey, we're having a seminar. This person's teaching it, and afterwards we're having a guest speaker for a sermon if you want to stay.
Nice.
It's gone really well. I mean, it's a community. And the thing is with jiu-jitsu as a whole, I mean, dude, this is the truth, dude. I had my life figured out when I was like 27. I got a really good, I was not teaching. I got a really good job with a multi-million-dollar company. All right. I was getting a 401k. I was going to work my way into middle management and retire. And then on a Thursday afternoon, my boss calls me in the office and says, Heath, I got to fire you. And then the next thing I know, I've got this jiu-jitsu school. And I want to be real, man. It wasn't until probably 5 years ago when I realized I'm sitting there chasing this stuff with jiu-jitsu, trying to do everything for me, when I get a phone call from somebody and he's like, hey, Heath, man, I want to thank you for letting me in the gym the other night. I can't thank you enough for it. I was like, yeah, it was during the height of COVID. He calls me at 2:30 in the morning. Bro, like, no, it was either I go to the gym or I would swallow a barrel. I was like, what? My fiance left me, and it was me and my demons from Iraq. That's all I had. And I started thinking that, like, that was one of the points for me to where when I started really analyzing my relationship on the mats with my students, because I'm very carefree and joking anyway. Yeah. I really do think that my job as a coach and an instructor is to help people do things and provide them an environment to where they can come in and build on themselves, whatever that is. You know what I mean? And do it in a positive way. I do have to police the environment. I mean, there's some people that when they go in there, they're in there for the wrong reasons. You know, I mean, I tell everybody, yeah, like, jiu-jitsu is for everybody, but not everybody's really for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but like as far as faith with like Jesus, man, Sean, I can't say nothing bad about it. No. Since fully turning things over. I mean, I'll tell you one of the biggest struggles I had. Me and my wife with it was with my son. Like, we had like 4 miscarriages before we even had Grayson. And we were where we couldn't even have kids. And now we've got Grayson, and our life dynamic has changed so much, not just financially. I'm talking about just the dynamic of our household.
Yeah.
Tracy had an amazing career in graphic arts and imaging design.
Wow.
She was doing really well, but she said, Heath, I got to quit this and I got to be home. And I was like, I don't know if we can afford it. She ended up quitting her job, homeschooling Grayson. And
Let's go homeschool.
Yeah, bro. And my son's life did a complete 180. Yeah. He is in a homeschool curriculum program that is all Christian based. And in our experience, he has done extremely well. Extremely well. My wife's a lot happier. I'm happier. But the struggles of everyday life, man, just because you become a Christian, everything in the world becomes like, sunshine and rainbows, and there's all this grace and forgiving, and Jesus doesn't, no, that ain't how it works, man.
No.
Being a Christian is an everyday walk of failure.
Yeah.
And it's like you pick up your cross and you drag it with you every day. I mean, dude, that's what it is. You're failing every day. I mean, every day you try to be a little bit better than you were the day before. Right. I mean, and I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially if you're like a person that is all in on things. Like, I have to be perfect at this. I have to be perfect. I messed up that one part, so I failed the whole thing. Well, scriptures, yeah, like if you break one of the commandments, you broke the whole law. That's true. But I mean, what can you do? Repent, ask for forgiveness, and get up and go do a better job the next day. Try to be better every single day. Right. I watch a lot of podcasts, and I watch a lot of sermons throughout the week whenever I'm in my office doing work. If anybody, there's nothing really to be on the fence about. A lot of it's a fear of initial step. It's a fear of failure. You're going to fail as a Christian. I'm telling you, it is not an easy walk.
Right.
But it's a worthwhile walk.
Yeah.
Because the road is narrow. The road's narrow, man.
Yeah.
It really is. And I see it, like the world that we're in today is chaotic, dude. It's crazy. It's a crazy world, and I see so many bad things happening, and I'm like, dude, we had a call to prayer by Reverend Franklin the other day nationally, and he went on the news, and I listened to the whole thing, and he's right. We have to have a coming back to God in this country. Not really in the country, in this world. Yeah. I mean, people are just at each other's throats over nothing. I'm not saying there's not mess in the world to be upset about. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that people let it consume their very souls to a point to where you're literally the most unchristian version of yourself online and social media. I absolutely cannot stand social media nowadays.
Well, and here's the thing. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Mm-hmm. Nothing has changed. What has changed? Exactly. What has changed is the access to chaos. So whereas before you couldn't see as much chaos, now you can see it all right there on the toilet at 7:00 in the morning.
Who was it? I think somebody was on Rogan talking about how like our brains as human beings aren't meant to have as much information.
So Dr. Andrew Huberman talks about that and basically says that you're actually only capable of withholding 100 relationships.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like your friendships. Like your brain only can have this is a study that they did. I think it's Stanford University where Huberman's out of.
Dude, he would know. That man is like.
Yes. And he was talking about that, like essentially your brain cannot comprehend like more than 100 relationships. You're capped.
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, and like you
But
look
that's
at it.
the problem with social media
Mhm.
is that it gets you to think that you're probably more capable than you are of retaining the amount of information. Our brains are at the height of its capacity consistently with social media. Like, I mean, think about it. You're nowadays, kids are receiving information so fast.
I was getting ready to say that. The thing that scares me is like, so in my kids' program, I've got a Mighty Mites program ages 4 to 6, and then my juniors start at 7.5. So when kids get to be 7 years old, I start graduating them up, right? So a 7-year-old will do my Mighty Mites once a week, and then my older age group the next. So that way it's a way of just like graduating them so they can make friends and stuff like that in an age group. Dude, I got kids in my juniors that are 9 years old with social media accounts.
Well, yeah, that's again that
And-
goes to parenting as well.
Well, and like the thing is, if that's going to be your parenting style and stuff, like for me, man, you have to understand how I look at this. So like this, I'm not judging parents for giving their kid a
no.
social media account, but I'm going
It's
to
just
tell
their
you,
style.
this is how parents come to me. This is how the phone calls go. Heath, I've heard really good things about your program. My son's getting bullied, and I need to put him in something that's going to give him confidence. Bullying today is nowhere near what it was when me and you were growing up. It's not. Like these kids today, the bullying is nonstop because it's literally right there in their hand. It's not just one moment that happened at school and it takes 2 or 3 days for it to spread throughout the entire school. And then 2 days later, everyone already done forgot about it. No, that stuff's there 24/7 and it's shared on their accounts nonstop. Cyberbullying, the way that these kids have access to each other. It's like if you have a problem with the kid at school when we were growing up, when we got home, we didn't have to deal with that kid again. We might not even see the kid the next day. That kid's still sending direct messages to you.
Right.
After you see the hazing and stuff like that never ends for these kids.
Yeah.
So when parents come and say, "Hey, yeah, I need to get my kid confidence," you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Your kid needs to have confidence to tell the kid to leave him alone, but at the same time, needs to know the responsibility of putting down that phone.
Right.
And that like their life is not going to be on a fake profile on social media. That's not what's going to justify their life. Like if you want your kid coming up and having confidence, put them in things where there's no social media gratification. Hunting, bow hunting, jiu-jitsu, things that are hard.
Yeah.
Have them doing it to where their justification for what they're doing, their reward, don't come through likes or TikToks and mess like
That's
that.
right.
It
Correct.
comes from gratification. Yeah, I got a kid who, man, I actually cried when this kid won Virginia. Won the Virginia Open, his first match ever he won in the IBJJF.
Wow.
Dude, he's been trying for 3 years. How many parents keep their kids in the sports nowadays when they're failing that much for 3 years? Think about the parents of that kid.
Yeah.
And I, as a coach, I was so proud of him. And look, let me tell you right now, that right there, he had all these amounts of failures. He had that one victory. He ain't the same kid anymore.
Right.
It's have your kids do hard things. And it comes back to like godly leadership too. Like God likes hills, man. I tell everybody this story. Like God likes putting you on hills. So that way you walk up this hill and then you go down into a valley and you go up and down. As you're doing that, as you're coming up out of that hill and going down into the next valley and season of your life, dude, you're glorifying him as you're doing it. I mean, staying faithful to him and doing what is right is a form of worship. It is worship in itself. Not just holding up your hands and singing songs at church behind a pew.
Correct.
You know, I mean, the way you raise your kids, that is a form of worship. Everything you do in life, how you interact with other people, will be viewed as worship. So the way they see God in you, they see Jesus in you, and be salt and light.
Yeah.
I mean,
Church is nice. It's a wonderful place to go and to get educated if you don't understand something.
I don't.
But
Well,
it's not that makes. I know. I'll be honest. I have a lot of really good friends. They're the salt of the earth. Some of the best people in the world, and they live it
mm-hmm.
versus doing it. Right?
Yeah.
Like there's two different things that I kind of think about in jujitsu. Is like, and that's even with Christ or God
Mm-hmm.
or the Bible. All of it is like living it and doing it. Right? There's kind of two different things. Like when you live jujitsu, it's so much more than just getting submissions and belt ranks, and it's all the outside things, your character, your discipline, your how are you treating people at home, how are you treating people out in public,
Mm-hmm.
if you're running a business, I mean, I hate to say it, a Google rating doesn't matter, but when you have a good Google rating, you don't have bad reviews, it says a lot about your business,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, it's like, so.
And I not to cut you off, but like, I just think that like those two types of scenarios are very real. And I think a lot of people they get too wrapped up in, like we don't go to church on Sundays,
Yeah. I know a lot
but
of
I
people.
have what we're having church right now.
Yeah.
When there's two people having a conversation
Mm-hmm.
about God, you're in church.
Well, here's a trick. It's like, in, I can't remember the verse, but it goes, and in that day they will say, Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name?
Right.
And he says, I never knew you. That means in the end of times, there'll be people who say, yeah, man, I knew of Jesus. But Jesus said, well, I didn't know you.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot to that. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm at a church that does teach scriptures, but I don't attend it every week. Because you know what I do for a living, dude. Like, I'm literally at the academy, and I'm not making excuses, thank God. I'm there at that place Monday to Saturday.
But you're living it.
Yeah, and I'm trying my best. But there's some days where I go to church, but on Sundays when we're like, man, we're exhausted, we put on the TV and we watch a sermon out the house. On Sundays, we're literally watching sermons. Our church is together watching sermons from our church online.
And you're doing that because you're getting educated.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
that's the whole purpose of church. The church is that it's the same thing. I go to jujitsu. I want to learn from a black belt how to do these moves.
Mm-hmm.
So, and some guys are against watching YouTube videos. I believe in them. That's just me. But like, it's the same concept.
Yeah.
You can still get.
You can get knowledge.
Of course, you can get knowledge. Now, again, you have to implement that. You have
and
to
you
put
have
it
to make
to work.
sure that, and you have to vet the knowledge. Like,
Correct.
You want to make sure that it's vetted. I mean,
Right.
I would say that, like, as far as like, this is Heath's opinion, right? Because I did it both ways. All right, I grew up in a Southern Baptist church, and every other week the preacher wanted to dunk me because they believed that if they just dumped me in water, that my soul was saved. Right? My dad was Episcopalian. So, and the way it worked in my house, I got alternating weekends with my dad. So one weekend I was at a Southern Baptist church, and the next weekend I'm at an Episcopalian church. And completely different religious experiences from both of them. And to be honest, because they kept chasing me to dunk me in water, that's one of the reasons why it kind of turned me away from it for a while. It really did. And it wasn't until in my late 20s that I really started analyzing my life a little bit. And then I was like, you know what? Told Tracy, I was like, we're going to go to church today. Well, what church are we going to go to? I don't know any of these churches in townies. So we went to one. And the pastor there was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Went back. But I was cautiously amazed by it. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those things where I was like immediately, I was like cautiously amazed by it. I liked the church, to be completely honest. And people say, Heath, this is crazy. I liked it because it was so big. Because I came from such a small church where everybody knew everybody and everyone knew everybody's mess. It was just big enough to get lost in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Over time, I started tithing to that church. That church has grown so much. And not off of my little tiles, I can tell you that. But that church has grown so much. And now that pastor has passed away and his son's taken over. And his son's done an incredible job. But seeing when I got into that church, I got baptized in that church.
Mm.
I dedicated my life in that church. My son got baptized in that church of his own accord, of his own wanting. One of the happiest moments of my life was watching my son decide he wanted to get baptized.
That's great.
And I can tell you that being in a community of church, as a man, it's important. So one of my, Tyler, he will tell you a lot of bad things about me. He will tell you that I'm really, really good at jiu-jitsu and that he's very concerned about me with bow hunting. That's what he'll tell you. Tyler's an amazing bow hunter, and he is a very religious man. I've known him since he was in high school. I want to call him a kid. I can't call him a kid anymore, you know. He comes up to me and he's like, Heath, I want to start a Bible study. Would you mind if I posted it in your Open Mats page? And it has done extremely well. It is a men's-based Bible study, and we meet every other week, and we've been going through the book of Romans lately. And dude, like, when you're talking about, like, church and stuff like that, what I would recommend, find you a small group, a men's study group.
Yeah.
Of like-minded men to go through and study the Bible together. And you would be surprised at how therapeutic that is as you're going through it in that way, as you're studying the Bible together.
You know what? I'm literally thinking of an idea right now as you said that. I'm like, you know what? This is good, because I think something like that would be more my style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because
well, you know how Tyler is, too.
I talk all my friends. I call him Sunday morning. Hey, sorry, I'm in church. I'll call you back. I'm like, all right, call my next friend. Hey, I'm at church. Let me text you. I'll call you back. And I'm sitting here going, like, it's not just, I've been through church my whole life, dude. I've been to Catholic, Christian, Baptist, the whole nine. I've been baptized twice, did the whole thing. But it's like, I'm just in an area where I want to do something different, you know, but I still need to be educated. I want to learn a little bit more, like see how more effective I can be in my life, right? Like,
well, I'll tell you, for me, the biggest thing that turned around things for me was when I quit caring about ECBJJ as it was mine. I gave that whole thing to God. When I did that, I'm not telling you this might be a good year or bad year at that school, you know what I mean? But I can tell you that when I gave it to God, that's when other things in my life started finally falling into place. I'm there just to steward it for God. That's how I look. That's how I look at it now.
100%.
I'm a 3rd-degree black belt. I've got people up for belts and ranks. What am I? That's your black belt. Well, yeah, I guess I promoted them, but I'm just there to facilitate their journey with me as long as they're there. If they're with me from white to blue and then they quit at blue, okay, that was their journey. If they're there with me from blue and I get them all the way to brown and then they move away, but they get their black belt in another area of the country somewhere, I'm glad I was able to help facilitate their journey to a certain degree, and then they took it beyond that. You know, I really think that's what I'm meant to do. I try to help as many of my students as I can. I try to provide a fun environment for them, because dude, like, the world's so jacked up right now. Yeah. Everybody is looking for something, for a happy place to go to. Yeah. That can give them some type of meaning. Mm-hmm. And I try to provide that as much as I can. Like, I've had students that have made friendships on the mat. So I've been like 14 years. Like, like when I told you that, like, my man sends a Venmo of $50 every year on the same day. I have multiple stories like that where my students still stay connected with each other. I got a guy I got to give a shout out to Sweets down in Florida. His name's David Hudson. He's a really good brown belt. He's training out of Florida now. My wife gave him the nickname Sweets. That's what she called him. And that name has stuck with him ever since. So he's down in Florida. He's coaching his own school now. So I go down there. I was like, they call you Sweets here? He's like, nah, they call me Coach Sweets. It's just the stuff that the memories that we have go far beyond the mats with where I'm at. And I want to keep it that way because I want people when they go in, whether they are people of faith or not, because I have people from all different walks of faith in life that go in there. My goal is I want them to see God in that building when they go in there through the environment.
Right.
And I try to police it that way and steward it to the best that I can. And dude, I'm not perfect at it.
Right.
I'm not. Like, if you're like, what is it? Well, I don't want to go to church because this preacher, dude, like, you're understanding, you're talking about a preacher. You're talking about a man, right?
Right.
You're going to be let down. If
Yeah.
you put all your faith in one person, you will be let down at some point or some faucet. That's just how this life is. That's why if you get a close relationship with Christ and have a one-on-one relationship with him, life's a little bit easier spiritually to deal with.
Yeah.
It makes problem solving in life easier.
Yeah.
Things just roll off your back a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Because, well, why did that happen? Should I be mad about it? Well, a couple of years ago, I'd have probably been irate at this, but I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
things like that in my life have changed a lot.
Yeah, when you're replacing faith when you're replacing fear with faith,
Yeah.
the anxiety levels kind of come down. You're not as freaked out about things, and you're like, okay,
Most quoted thing in the Bible, do not be afraid.
right,
That's hard.
true,
That is very, very hard.
it is hard.
Especially like as a business owner.
Yeah,
Bro, you know as a business owner, like you have like from as long as I've known you, you've always had your business on point. Very structured, very organized. It has to be. What were to happen if you have A, B, C, and D and something happens with C? Something goes wonky with part C of your business. What's going to happen to the business as a whole?
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's kind of like as business owners, we have things in place for a specific reason.
yeah,
And my anxiety comes with that school, policing it, making sure everybody's they're happy, being safe, doing what they should be doing, that kind of thing. I mean, events, I plan events. I do things different because I don't promote every day of the week like some schools. I'm not knocking jiu-jitsu schools that do that. I know
Right.
many of them that will show up on a Tuesday night and they will promote so-and-so student. Me, I do it at events because I like making it a moment.
yeah,
Because, like, yeah, you're 20 years old. You just want a pelt. You just want a purple belt. Why do I have to go to this rank review or this seminar? Well, when you're 35, 40, you'll understand.
yeah,
Because that's a memory that you're going to look back on
yeah,
and you're going to want to have had people there and it be a special moment
That's
in your
right.
life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why.
yeah,
I mean, I will promote people outside of seminars. I promote them. Like Jeff has gotten on me because I will promote people at PANS. And I understand Jeff's idea behind it. But at the same time, Heath, why would you give somebody a belt on the podium at PANS? Because he worked so hard for that moment. I want to make it that much better.
yeah. It's incredible.
It's not about me giving them a belt. It's about what they've earned and me facilitating it.
Yeah,
That's the coolest part about it. But it's hard, man. Being a black, like the hardest belts to wear to me were blue and black. Being a black belt is hard, especially if you're one that genuinely cares, because I do care about keeping it pure with the rank in my school.
yeah,
And people will fight me tooth and nail on it. Like, why
Right.
isn't this person ready? Why is that person not ready yet? I know it's like, it's not an opinion. It's like in my brain, it's not an opinion. Like me and you are having a difference of opinion.
yeah,
I got a text message last night. Heath, why isn't so-and-so a black belt yet? He's not ready. Why isn't he ready? He's been doing this. I was like, trust me, he's not ready.
yeah,
He's not ready.
yeah.
I just,
And when you guys promote, when someone's ready to, I think it's quite interesting that Gordon Ryan's never given anyone a black belt, but I think
I think Gordon will one day.
one day, yeah. But I mean, in my opinion, or what I've learned, that level is encompassing everything in life, not just
No, I mean,
being a mat slayer.
dude, like
You
I've
know,
got people.
Would you
in
agree
there.
with that?
Man,
Give me your perspective on what it means to receive a black belt. Is it a guy who, on 10 years on the nose, that's the day he gets it?
No,
Or
don't do
is it,
don't
you,
do that.
you get what I'm saying?
do.
Because there's that, you see that a lot, right? Oh, he's done his time. He's got his 10,000 hours. He's got his there. We're giving it to him. Or is it let's say you have five 20% categories in your life, and you're fulfilling each category in your life, and those categories are: he shows up to class, he's good at jiu-jitsu, he's progressed, he's got good character, he works hard, he takes care of his family, his businesses are growing. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's all these different things that encompass what an actual black belt is, and I feel like I'm just saying that because that's what I see at our school.
Yeah.
Being the black belt is not necessarily being good in the
Steve
time.
Snyder
It's
once
everything.
told a guy he can't get his purple belt till he loses another 50 pounds.
But that's part of
but-
the encompassing what it means.
But it has nothing to do with your jiu-jitsu. I want you to lose 50 pounds. I mean, I'm like, no, that's like me looking at David Mouse for his black belt. David, Heath, what do I need to do to get my black belt? Mouse, I need you to grow another half a foot. He's a little hobbit. I mean,
Right.
he ain't growing half a foot, you know? It's like setting realistic expectations for your students and realistic goals. Specifically to black belt, when I joined Hobson, I was a 4-stripe brown belt. Hobson assessed me and took all 4 stripes away.
Really?
I was a brown belt for 5 years. He took all 4 stripes away. And when I got my black belt, I got my black belt 2 weeks before my son was born. Hobson comes in and he ties a judo black belt, my old judo black belt, around my waist because it had gone full circle. I got my black belt in judo, and he's like, Heath, you got demoted from it, because I told Hobson I'd have gone back to purple, and I meant it, because I could have probably won worlds at purple, but he wouldn't let me do it. But he took all 4 stripes away when he promoted me to black belt. It was 2 weeks before my son was born. Do you have any idea, after having 4 miscarriages, having to go through with my wife, the trauma that she had to go through?
Yeah.
Because my wife has wanted one thing in life. Ever since I have known Tracy Chapman, not the singer, my wife doesn't have a fast car.
That's a good one.
But ever since I've known her, she's always wanted to be a mother. So 2 weeks before my son's born, and I'm on cloud 9. I get my black belt and I have a son within 2 weeks. That was probably one of the biggest and most awesome times of my life. Getting to see my best friend become a mother, getting a black belt, and me being a father. That was probably one of the most awesome experiences of my life. So when I got my black belt, I was still like a kid in a way. And as I've gotten older, it's not all about talent. It's not. I have Matthew Coley on my mats. He's a 1st-degree black belt now. Matthew's 70 years old, and he's struggling with cancer. He's on the mats 4 days a week. Since starting with me, Matthew has declined a lot. But he is a very big part of my school and my business. Do I judge him for his promotions the same I do a 25-year-old? No. 25-year-old up for a black belt isn't the same as a 35 or 40-year-old up for black belt. The knowledge is the same, yes. But if I'm going to sit back there and say, hey, a 45-year-old man should be able to tap everybody just the same as a 25-year-old black belt, no, that's not realistic.
Right.
And that's not fair to the rank or the athletes.
Right.
Or the integrity of what the art is designed to be.
Right.
I mean, I'm 42 years old. For 42 years old, I've had my blood work done. I'm in really, really good shape. I'm like, thank God, knock on wood, I am incredibly good shape, right? I ain't going into the adult division tomorrow.
No.
I'm not that stupid.
No.
No, I can't at 42. Yeah, I have really good technique. I have really good knowledge. At my age, at my rank, I am competitive at times. I am competitive. You put me in the adult division, oh my God, no thank you. I've rolled adult black belts. I've rolled them, man. They are like these 19, 22, 23-year-old black belts. Bro, I'm like, do you get tired? Do you stop moving? The answer is no. What? Well, I'm resting. You're resting and you're moving 55 miles an hour. You're not resting. That's not how I rest.
Right.
Well, how do you rest, Mr. Heath? I get you in mount and I lay there. Dude, it's not the same. And you have to have humility about it. You really do.
Yeah.
Like, I've gotten older now. I'm 42 years old. I'm still competing. But then you look at Bruno. Bruno's older than me. He's still competing too.
Yeah.
I think technically, and I've asked Bruno this many times, and I've asked Hobson this many times, if I fought myself right now, 10 years ago, I would beat my younger self 10 out of 10 times. But I would not be nowhere near the athlete. I would beat myself because I have more experience and I have better technical jiu-jitsu. But my ability to athletically apply it like I would have been able to when I was younger, that's not there anymore.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's something that I think this day with everybody in the world, especially my division, I know what they're on.
That's why God created TRT, baby.
I know what they're on.
They're
on.
That's fine though.
Bro, I can tell too. Like,
But look, I'm
I'm natural. Look, I swear,
That's fine.
I will promise on my cross. Look, I'm not
That's
on.
okay.
I'm not on TRT. I'm
I
not
am.
on anything.
I love it.
Look, I'm not on it. But
God
I can tell
invented
you,
it.
bro.
Just saying.
When I go out to these competitions and these guys grab me, I know who's on it.
Yeah.
And I know when they grab me, I'm like, oh, they're on TRT.
Yeah.
He's
well,
on
good.
He's on HGH.
Well,
He's on the Flintstone vitamins, the chewables. He's on everything.
love
and
it.
I'm like, a man just grabbed me, and I'm just going to pray now. That's all.
do you
I
think
can
God
do.
created TRT? You think God created
Oh,
created
yes.
it?
Yes, but we manipulated it really well. 'Cause
Well, the
let me
reason he
tell you-
did is because this is what my belief is. You can believe whatever you want, but it's made me a better person in all areas of my life. But
No,
you know
no.
what? Listen, I'm telling you.
No,
Look,
I know. I believe it.
but
I've
because
had
the
people go
devil
through
came
it.
in and he screwed up our food system,
Mm-hmm.
and now how are you going to combat our terrible food system with our bad hormones and our levels that are completely diminished? 43-year-olds, 42-year-olds with levels of 500, which weren't even seen in the 1970s. They didn't even really see guys with levels of 500s of testosterone. That's a true statement.
Kyle Perry, he's one of my brown belts, man. He's done really, really well. He runs my Nogi classes on Thursday nights. My entire diet for competitions is nothing but deer meat. I eat nothing but
That's
deer.
fine.
Dude,
If you ate it raw, it'd be better.
bro, Kyle's like, Heath, you're going to grow horns. I'm really worried you're going to grow horns. And I was like, well, and he's like, well, I know the size of deer you shoot, so I'm not worried about them being big enough to where Tyler would see you and shoot you. But like, I'm really worried that you're going to start growing horns. But no, there's honestly, in my opinion, there's a lot to that. Me and my wife, we talk about it quite a bit, especially having kids. You want them eating right. You want them being as healthy as you can have them. I really and truly, like, for me, a couple of friends of mine invited me over for some burgers and stuff like that. I only really eat deer meat. Like, so if you're going to go cook a burger on a grill, I'm used to deer burgers now. And it didn't taste right to me.
Yeah.
It tastes very dry. It tastes very bland.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a good taste. But like, there's a lot to that. Like, and part of me's wondered, like, is it two things? One, are we now just looking at it historically? Or two, is it in the food like we're trying? And I think there's a lot to it with the food. But the other thing is, I sit back and I look at what our higher end athletes doing nowadays. When you look at like some of the guys that are in my division at 42 years old, some of them are yoked. They are jacked. And you know, we're in the bullpen, you talk, bro, very high protein diets,
Mm-hmm.
very low carbs,
Mm-hmm.
high fats.
Mm-hmm.
They're not fully cut off from carbohydrates.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But they have a higher.
But a lot of this comes down to like if when I listen to my doctor Phil, who a lot of guys that we train with see him now.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at like the history of the microplasticities in water and the heavy metals inside of our water,
Yeah.
and like if the farm up here is farming with glyphosate, do you know that where my well is connected into an underground river? Do you know where that glyphosate is going? It doesn't dissolve. Chemicals have to go somewhere. They don't dissolve, right?
So
they go straight down and are in that underground river that they tap that well in, and it's seeping down, and now it's going through my household, coming out the faucet, and you're drinking it.
Yeah.
The problem we've created is that we have so much of it now, chemicals in this plot of land that we live on. It's really hard to combat it nowadays. I mean, and it would cost you if you literally drank out of glass bottles. I think there's like one or two companies, if you've got the water app.
Yeah.
There might be one or two companies that's literally at a 99% purity rate, unless you're at the top of like Everest eating out of the creeks.
Dude,
It's so bad. So all of that stuff is hindering our hormones. I mean, the glyphosate alone, we have to use it now in the United States. We are at a standpoint with glyphosate. We have to use it because we have all these people to feed now, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can combat it with obviously the labels of what. Now, I'm in the seasoning business, so I've learned a lot of this stuff, but you can combat it. And that's obviously buying foods of organic. I don't put a budget on food, never have.
Yeah.
It is not a thing where I go, oh, I'm going to go get a discounted piece of meat or a discounted. Absolutely not, because the food that you eat is an IRA.
Your grocery bill is your grocery bill.
My grocery bill is a savings account.
Yeah.
Because in my business, it's longevity. Whoever outlasts the longest. I think they even talk about that in jiu-jitsu too.
Yeah.
Getting a black belt, it's like, now at this point, it's longevity. Whoever lasts the longest. So to me, it's like, how do I get ahead of like other business owners in that is that, I got to be here for the long haul. I mean, dude, like cancers and stuff, they've never existed. Where'd this come from? This is all literally from our food.
Look at your dogs. How many people, like me and Tracy were looking at this because we just found out our dog, she had a cancer cyst on her face.
That's from their food.
Like 6 years old.
Yeah, it's all this stuff is from their food, man. There's every single thing. This is no lie, man.
Speaking of food, did you see the new pyramid that came out with RFK?
Yes.
The South Park episode where they literally flipped it upside down.
Yeah. Well, did you see? Have you been in the grocery stores looking on shelves?
No, I haven't.
Cheerios is now high protein.
Oh my god.
So now the advertising companies have flipped the script, and everything that you see at the grocery store is high protein this and high protein that. See, that's what happens. See, that's where you get now you think you're eating high protein. Right? The whole food industry is
What was it a couple of years ago where they said that in one of the pyramids, this was I don't know if it was like 8-9 years ago, they said that Lucky Charms was healthier for you than a sirloin steak.
Yeah, someone made that. Yeah, that's propaganda. I mean, most of these guys, Kellogg's and Post and all these companies.
I remember that going out and I was like, who is believing that?
Well, look what Travis Kelce did during COVID. Did you see the check he got for the commercial that he pulled about getting vaccinated?
Mm-mm.
Nice couple mil for just saying it. I don't know, bro. If somebody was to tell me, bro, hey, look, all you got to do is go on here, bro, and I'm going to write you a check for 50 mil, I might be like, fuck it. You know what I mean? 50 mil, as long as I'm not doing any weird shit, if all I have to do is say that, I'm a moral guy, so like it probably not. But bro, 50 mil.
Like Rand Paul was just on Joe Rogan last week, and they were talking about big pharma.
I gotta see that one.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the only thing you can do nowadays, in all honesty, is
minimize it.
Control your world.
Minimize
control
what comes inside of that world,
and control your world and police what comes in.
Yeah.
Protect your kids as much as you can.
As much as you can.
Raise them in a godly household and do the best you can. That's all anybody can do today.
Yeah.
And try to raise them for the love of God in a positive environment.
Yeah.
Put them in positivity.
Yeah.
Keep feeding them. you go online, man, you see so much negativity everywhere, and it gets in your algorithm, and the algorithm beats you down, and you're like, I'm depressed. Like, just put the phone down, dude.
Yeah. Stay out, like Rogan says, stay out of the comment section, post and move on.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, that's kind of why I like Instagram though too, because it's like me and my buddy sending videos half the time. So that's what I look at,
Dude,
and I post and I go. I don't hang out like
dude, the stuff that my students send me
I would be in jail,
bro.
I'm
like, the
probably
stuff
already
they
in
send me,
prison.
man. Like if my wife knew half the stuff they send me, and the memes that they send me every day, because
dude.
everyone knows like the big thing at the school is like I'm a big Nickelback fan.
I like Nickelback.
Yeah, dude, look. All right, so I got tickets to see Nickelback. My own wife wouldn't go with me.
They are underrated, by the way.
Thank you. They're Canadian
They
treasure.
are completely underrated. And I was listening to them here recently, not to cut you off again, but I'm telling you right now, they have absolute bangers, okay? They are completely underrated in my opinion.
Look, my own wife wouldn't go with me. So Sean, my purple belt Sean, she wouldn't go with me. So I sat back there and I'm like, you know what? Sean complains so much about Nickelback. So I called him up on the phone. I was like, hey man, meet me at the academy and bring your gi. We're going to go somewhere tonight. You're not going to be home till late. He's like, where are we going? I was like, we're going to go to Raleigh. He's like for jiu-jitsu? I was like, yeah, it's jiu-jitsu related. That's what I told him.
No. You guys went to a Nickelback concert?
Dude, I took him to see Nickelback. Yes. And bro.
Was it sick?
Oh, it was sick. And he was so upset. I was like, dude, I don't know why you're upset. You knew every song they sang. He's like, yeah, because we hear it every night in class. And I was like, I told you it was jiu-jitsu. That boy thought I was taking him to a seminar somewhere.
No.
Yeah. It's bad.
What an underrated band, dude. Dude.
They knock my music every night because I have nothing but like 90s, Nickelback,
Creed, you know, those old school bands,
I have
bangers, dude. Prison,
I have
My Own Prison.
That.
That's a banger.
Then like, have you seen like the Stranger Things stuff?
Nah, I'm not into it.
All right, dude. Like, all right, in the last episode,
everybody's all mad about it, but I've never watched it, so I have no idea.
In the last episode, one of the songs was "Purple Rain" by Prince.
Oh,
so I have an '80s playlist, and I'm in class. I teach my kids class. It was a Wednesday night a couple weeks ago. It was right after it came out, and Purple Rain came on while all the kids were rolling. Like 4 or 5 of the kids got up, freaked out, and be like, "Oh my God, that song's so awesome! It was on Stranger Things." And I was like,
"What?"
I'm like, dude, I felt so old. I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "You learned about Prince's Purple Rain through Stranger Things." Dude, like, no, we're not the same right now.
Jesus,
no way,
dude.
No way.
That's crazy.
But no,
well, sweet. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say it's just all you can do is like pray, keep everything close to you.
That's right.
And do the best you can in your world, and don't let the mess out there like start dragging you down, getting you like to where you're all riled up about things. It's because it's like, man, at the end of the day, it's you and your family.
That's
and
right.
what you can do to provide a better life for them and sustain it for the future for them.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
But I'm weird.
No, I love it, dude. I love it. And we're going to kind of wrap up here, man. But listen, I can't thank you enough, for coming down here and doing this. But I have, you probably don't know it, but you've helped me grow a lot in just my life in general. You live a little ways away from me, but this last, 8 months or so that we've kind of connected, I have a real joy to be around you, like it's honest, in my heart, I'm like, man, I love that guy. And I think that's just kind of growth for me where, jiu-jitsu has, really allowed me to open my eyes to actual relationships. And you've kind of just been one of those guys that, and obviously the hunting world too, because I'm super obsessed with it as well, and just like you. But I thank you so much for taking the time to show me some stuff and being down here and doing this. But man, you make a huge impact in our association. I witnessed that this last summer, and your love for jiu-jitsu just spreads beyond where you're at in your little ecosystem. And, you know, I'm really trying to strive to be more, you know, like you know.
Thank you, man.
And, you know, again, like keep doing what you're doing. And, you know, I think that there needs to be more of you in this world. And
I don't know about more of me. I might drive too many people crazy.
but there's
I do
that as
step.
well. But it's we kind of like that, you know. We kind of like a little weird chaoticness, you know.
It's
so,
fun, man. I
But
mean-
you're a one of a kind guy, and that, you know. Again, thank you so much for all
thank you
that,
so
dude.
much for having me, man.
Yeah.
And the only reason why my wife let me come out to play today to do all this was for some of the gnarly rub.
I got you,
seasonings.
dog.
I'm just saying. It's like
I
Heath,
got
he has
you.
to give you some of the seasonings.
Yeah.
That because like God knows she loves that seasoning.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
No,
man.
yeah,
We're
you
trying.
know-
We have some fun stuff coming, dude.
Yeah, man. You were
So,
telling about it. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna go really well.
Yeah,
I want to get some of it.
yeah, I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, we changed a little bit of the ingredients because we kind of, again, here goes to the trying to eliminate some stuff where we
Yeah.
went with, got rid of the table salt that was in it, which wasn't terrible, and then we went with a unrefined sea salt. So we don't have, again, we're trying to clean some things up, you know, as well
It's
as
gonna go
that.
good.
So we're hoping that, you know, we're hoping that everyone's going to like what we have coming here soon. So, but anyways, again, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And wish you nothing but success, bro.
Thank you so much, man. We'll get together and do this soon.
Love
All right,
you,
my
bro.
man. Love you too, buddy.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bud. All right, we're clocking off here.